Welcome to week 6 of the Yomo is a Hero Pick'ems podcast. We're a bit shorthanded today, but I'm Kai. We got McFist Pump here, and we got Mookie here. Yeet. Before we go though, for those of y'all that are sad about no Agent and Coon, I got a gift for y'all out there in the chat. To the left of y'all, I present Coon here in spirit. If y'all are on the stream, y'all can see it. And on the right, I had to get something to encapsulate Asian. So right to Mookie's right, we got a Mike Tomlin gift for Asian.
Beautiful.
Bro, can't stand the Steelers. So garbage. Don't even know how.
Look, they're here in spirit, Mook. They're beside you. Coon's to your left, and Asian's to your right. Might be the opposite way since I'm looking at the TV, but yeah, y'all, we had a game last night, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I did not watch this game.
I did watch this game.
And so what was because my takeaway from what I've from the highlights I've seen was Kansas City looked fine. They didn't look great, but they looked fine.
Sloppy.
Defense looked
they
good.
Looked fine. They definitely
and
need to
Denver looked awful, and Russ looked awful. And I'll say this: the Denver defense came out and played, by my understanding, but the offense looked terrible.
KC, they punched them in the mouth a couple times, but KC's the team you're not going to keep down ever. So
it looks like Russ threw 2 picks and had less than 100 yards.
He's definitely missing Pete Carroll.
Stat-wise, he was having a decent season up until tonight, but up until last night. But yeah, it just looked like Denver was outclassed in just about every way you could be.
Yep. Oh wow, I've never gotten that animation.
Yeah, I know. I was like, damn. That's how Asian's gonna be pointing at Mook when he beats him in fantasy. He did come in and say when he dropped 200, he was like, man, I wish I was playing Mook this week and not the lowest scorer.
Yes, me. No. Okay. But yeah, no. No, thank God I didn't play his ass. The motherfucker dropped 200, and we didn't even have like three receivers.
He dropped like 190 before Devontae Adams played.
Yeah, thank God he didn't play me.
Oh, but
I got and I was excited for it.
But what did you see about this game, Aaron?
Well, Denver's going to be in a rebuild with Sean Payton, and they see if they want to win a Super Bowl, they're going to have to tighten up.
Do you think they're definitely taking a quarterback in the first?
I will say Sean Payton and Russell don't see eye to eye, so I don't see him there much longer.
They're two different personalities, but the thing is, they don't start paying Russ till next year.
Yeah, so they want to get him gone ASAP.
Even if they still eat the money of that contract, so there isn't really much else, many places for them to go besides a rookie.
They could try to trade him to a team that needs a quarterback and tell them to take the
try to
contract,
find someone to eat part of the contract.
Right.
No one's gonna eat that whole thing.
No. Seattle definitely paid the man.
We will pay you money not to play on our team.
Well, Seattle, I mean, say what you want about Pete Carroll. Apparently, he's seen something that said, "Hey, we're moving off," and it's worked out for him.
Like I was telling Mookie, Pete Carroll made Russell. Russell doesn't have the career he has without Pete Carroll.
I'll say this.
And I'll stand by that.
It feels like Pete Carroll's really getting his roses, kind of nowadays.
Look at what he did at USC. National championship.
But I will say, how many times have we seen a college coach come over and fell in the NFL? It seems like Pete Carroll is showing that he's clever and he's finally really getting his roses for what he's done in Seattle.
He's, I think, 82.
That man's 82?
I think it's like
I
72
wouldn't.
maybe.
I wouldn't have guessed that man was over like 55. He looks so energetic.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. He's like 70 some years old. I don't know why I said 80.
Indies.
So did you watch this game, Mook?
Yes, I did. Parts of it.
What was your thoughts of this game?
Denver ass has like one of the worst defenses, which is very shocking to say. And yeah, pretty much what Aaron said.
Well,
to be honest,
they played good defensively last night. Holding KC to 19 is
so terrible.
holding
Shots and
KC.
Judy.
Anytime you can hold Mahomes under 20, you're normally doing a good job.
I also, like I said, I really don't think Kansas City is going to be as good as they have been. I really don't think they're taking the top 2 seed, but maybe that's just a very big hot take.
Oh, I would gladly bet against that happening. I don't think that. I think the Chiefs will either be the 1 or the 2.
I would have said the 4 seed, but Jacksonville's division's winning that.
I mean,
So.
well, we'll figure out because they've got a lot of good games on their schedule. They play Philadelphia, they play Cincinnati, I think they play Buffalo. Like, and they've already beat Jacksonville, and I don't know who else you would put in like the top seed, like unless you think other people, maybe like a Baltimore, but I don't know if they play them. I'm trying to think because I don't think any. I'll say this: they play the Chargers next. If you think they're not winning the division, that's a game they would have to lose.
Oh no!
The Chargers always play them. That's the thing, though. It's like if they're not going to be the 1 or the 2, what other division leader is going to win enough games to pass them?
You know what? Never mind. I can't make that claim anymore. I just remembered how ass Pittsburgh's division is. So I think Pittsburgh will be 4th.
Then who's going to be the 1?
Miami, Buffalo.
Even after Buffalo taking that L on Sunday? Miami, I could see.
Yeah, one of those 2.
Oh, I can pull up these guys' pick'ems. Which one do y'all want me to do, Asian or Coon? Because I can pull up one or the other.
Aaron?
It don't matter to me.
I'll pull up Coon's because I've scrolled up to his.
Mookie, are you doing Asians or no?
Not if you want to.
It's all you, brother. I did Asians last time.
I did.
Well, I can tell you, I put 11 on KC and Coon put 15 on KC for this game.
You put up 12 and I put up 10.
And I'm guessing you went high on KC as well, Mr. Aaron.
Oh yeah, I put 15 on KC for sure.
We all went double digits. That's not shocking. I do have one more thing I want to ask y'all about before we move on. And I don't know the full story, so maybe y'all can fill in the blanks. But the Steve Smith Sr. Jerry Jeudy drama?
Aaron was saying stuff to me about it. I didn't know nothing about it.
Well,
So pretty much,
it
Steve
seems
Smith,
like that
all
Jeudy,
he was saying is
that he's just a
Judy's an
guy.
average receiver.
Yeah, he
He's
called
just
him a
an
jag.
average guy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I don't fuck with you. And so he's like, okay, like, I was just being, criticizing. And I'm sorry you can't take criticism.
Critiquing the play on the field, yes. Because I seen where
And
Steve Smith Sr. was like, on
he
the...
had like, what, 1 or 2 catches tonight for like 20 yards at that?
He was on the broadcast and he apologized. And I guess Jeudy, like, took a shot at him or something.
Well, yeah, that's literally what he was just trying to apologize because, he was just like, you kind of proved me wrong a little bit. And then he's like, no, fuck you. He's like, I'm good. He'll hold that energy. And
he's like, I'm going to tell people not to trade for you because you can't take any criticism. And I just think it's one of those things where it was nothing that happened, like, off the field, like he critiqued what he's seeing on the field, the eye test. And
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's crazy that it's taken that personal because it's like, it's like
Well, I mean,
if you don't want.
I mean, he is an average receiver. He hasn't done anything really special
Well,
for me to be like, wow.
So I've been watching Unk and Ocho lately. I've been watching their podcast. And Shannon went on this big old list of all these people drafted after Judy that have better, like, more yards, more touchdowns. And, they were like, he's not producing to where he was drafted at. Because he was the 15th pick in the first round.
Yeah, he was drafted high.
And, like,
Very high.
he was drafted before. And, but essentially the point was, it's the eye test of what you're seeing on the field. It's like, if you're that guy and you want people to shut up, go out there and prove it. Like, it's like having the mindset to demand the ball because, like, regardless of Denver isn't winning a lot of games, it's like, I don't know, just that mindset of saying, hey, you need to get me the ball more. Do y'all see any of Denver's receivers moving?
Aaron was saying potentially the Lions might get Judy, potentially.
There was trade rumors of them kind of having a fire sale and starting to tank for the Caleb Williams lottery. So
yeah, I think I see that, but I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be entering the draft.
I think it's going to depend on who gets the number 1 pick.
Yeah, but the teams that he wants to play for are never
I could see if the Broncos got it, him being like, okay, I'm going to go play with Sean Payton, good offensive mind. As whereas, like, if, like, Chicago were to get it, like, they can't get the offense right. Why would you want to go there, Especially since they're paying you in college now. But we'll just have to see, like, who is it that has 2? Carolina has 2 picks, but why would you want to go there either? So
if Chicago lines it up right, they could have the 1st and 2nd pick, which could be.
Is it Chicago that has the pick and not Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Chicago.
Chicago has Houston's pick then. That's who they traded with. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it is, the Bears have 2 picks. Sorry, I had that wrong. Yeah, like I said, I just think he wants to go somewhere where, in his mind, he'll be set up to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, if he were to go to the Lions, like I was telling Mookie, like, he would fit in great if he plays by the rules. If not, we would ship his ass out quick as shit.
My one fear, and this is what I always fear, is him loading up and going to Kansas City. Now, I don't think Denver would trade him in division, but could you imagine if they got Pat Mahomes, an actual number 1 receiver that stayed healthy and could create separation?
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be scary.
The tight end.
But lots of questions in Denver. Kansas City is about what we thought they were. Y'all got anything else y'all want to say on this game?
I am all set, brother.
Mookie?
No. Oh, the only thing I want to say is I guess my hot take wouldn't be correct about Kansas City being the 1 or 2 seed. Because I don't think Jacksonville's division is beating them, and I sure as hell don't think the Ravens division is beating them.
Kansas City is the best AFC team, hands down.
I'll say this, Mook. As far as the 1 seed goes, look at Week 9. I don't buy into the Bills as much as y'all do, but look at Week 9 in Germany, Kansas City, Miami. Good chance that leads to the 1 seed, which is crazy because it's a game in Germany. That's gonna be a wild game. And I'll say this too. Y'all know I love Trevor. I keep an eye on the Jags, not because they're the best team, but because their schedule is super light. Like, they played Kansas City, they played Buffalo.
A pretty good team. You can't sleep on the Jags.
I'm just saying, like, they got a pretty easy schedule. Out of their schedule wise, they're kind of the Philly of last year, where Philly was a great team, but a lot of it was they had a very soft schedule as well. The Jags have that
Yeah, I
soft
wanna-
schedule this year. They played KC, they played Buffalo. I think they play Cincinnati, and there's one other team they play. It might be like Miami or something. And that's like it for their tough games. Everything else is their division, and like I think they play the NFC South, the good old NFC South, who's better than last
like-
year, but I still don't think there's
like a college team.
I don't think there's like a juggernaut in that division. But
You said is the juggernaut wrong?
what do you mean, Mook?
Oh, Atlanta's the best team in that division.
Oh, we'll talk about them soon. Sadly. But moving on to the actual games. We have another London game. I don't know if y'all like early morning football, but we got the Baltimore Ravens going to Tennessee to take on going to London to take on the home team Tennessee London Titans.
So
Go ahead.
this one is tough, just because like with it being overseas, we've seen how that played a factor last week with the Bills.
Yup.
So the Bills are the number 2 offense in the league before they played Miami and torched them for 40-something. So that means Miami went to number 2 and they went to number 1. But then after last week, they took a nice little dive. So Jags, they chilled there for 2 weeks while they just flew in.
I will
So
say
that
that
been a little factor.
both of these teams are flying in this time.
Yes, and that's why I want to lean to Baltimore. But the way they gave Pittsburgh that game, it's like, man, I don't know. Are they going to hand Tennessee this game? Are they going to make Tannehill look like Tom Brady?
I'll say this. I feel bad for him. Lamar played good last week, and his receivers just dropped passes. I think they had
Right,
7,
so
8, 9 drops. Like that,
They
for
should've
all intents
blown
and purposes,
Pittsburgh out.
that was a game that Baltimore should have won.
Easily.
But they didn't.
Easily they would've
Andrews
won
had
that.
a rare drop. Zay Flowers had a rare
Everyone.
drop. Bateman
He had a
had a
couple
drop. It was just a very weird game. And yeah, I'm kind of on board with you. Like,
And so, like, I'm going with Baltimore with 4 confidence right now, but that might change between now and 9 in the morning on Sunday. So
Arnie,
right now we are going Baltimore with 4 confidence.
well, Kuhn has 8 on Baltimore. And I actually went the opposite way with this game. I got 3 on the Titans. Yeah, this is just a very weird game with me. I don't know how to feel about it. But I'm going to ride the run game of Tennessee. I'm going to, ride Henry, ride Spears. I'm just going to give the nod to Mike Vrabel here and think he has this team ready to play. Has them believing they're not out of it. Don't have a lot of confidence in it because I don't know what to make of this game. It's a weird London game, so I got 3 on the Titans, and I'm gonna ride their run game because those games are normally more run oriented, and I trust the Titans in that
Right.
regard more than I do Baltimore.
Asian's got 8 on the Ravens as well.
7.
Sheesh, I'm riding Tennessee alone. Well, if there's a coach I would ride alone as a dog, it would be Mike Vrabel. If we're being real.
I put 1 on the Ravens, mostly because they hurt me last week, and honestly, I don't think Tennessee's that bad of a
Hurt
team.
me too.
Yeah, but you didn't drop 9 on them. You actually picked Pittsburgh, and
No, I picked.
I think he picked
Oh, no, I
Baltimore.
did.
Oh, did you switch to
No.
Pittsburgh?
I did. I think I did last week switch back to Pitt. No,
Hey.
I'm pretty sure I went with Baltimore last week.
Hey, while Mook hates it,
No, I went with Pitt. Never mind.
while,
Hold my words.
don't worry, Aaron. While Mook hates it, there's some charm with me and Mook posting, with me and Kuhn posting Mike Tomlin gifts in the chat when it happens.
dude, but they shouldn't have even lost. I can't stand Pittsburgh. Fucking so shitty. Anyways,
Mook,
I put 1.
they're bound
I
to
don't-
win 9 games a season.
It's okay to not get 500.
Well,
Hey,
trust
you
Do
know-
me,
you know who?
Pittsburgh
Mookie.
Pittsburgh fans
won
want
that
more,
game?
but it's it's just the
Who won that
law
game?
of the land.
His name is
3?
T.J. Watt. you can't. I mean, Lawrence Taylor used to beat teams by himself. J.J. Watt did. All the great pass rushers, this is what they do. And that is what Pittsburgh has. And if the team is going to allow them to stay within a touchdown, that gives T.J. Watt a strip sack.
I'm just saying, their defense is solid, but their offense is so god-awful and so abysmal. Oh, my God, I can't. The fact that they're winning games, I hate it. I really hate it.
The reason they won is because that, Ben Roethlisberger 2.0 decided to make it audible.
Yeah, I know. They were talking about the OC hating that.
The coordinator. Guess what? I'm winning this game, making you look like a fool.
Well, Mook.
And now we got a hockey game. We got chanting to fire Canada and all that. So
they're on. Like I said, I was watching AEW from LA the other week, and there was a Fire Canada sign in the crowd.
Yeah, dude, that was a big chant for the hockey game where the Pittsburgh, they were chanting fire him. Like, nobody likes him in Pittsburgh. I don't know. If he has a home there, I'm sure he DoorDashes everything. He don't go out in public.
But yeah, they,
But we're not talking about Pittsburgh right
now. No, Pittsburgh's off this week, so I'll just say, Mook,
thank God.
I have accepted the fact that Pittsburgh games are just going to be ugly 15 to 12 games. And that's just the realization I've come to.
I've learned to... I didn't learn anything. I hate it. They should have won last week, but that was last week. I'll leave it at that. I'm going to go with the Ravens with 1. The Ravens... They really dropped the ball this week, and it really hurts to pick them. But I'm going with the Ravens by 1. I think they're the better team, but I do think Tennessee is okay. They're not complete ass like I thought they were at the beginning of the year.
Talent-wise, they're not great, but they have arguably a top 5 coach.
They have a good coach behind them with a few good players.
Pluto did say Mook never learns. But moving on.
Are we done with the...
Yeah. I don't think anybody else has anything they want to say.
No,
it's a London game. It's going to be weird. We've just accepted it. Moving on to this shit show of a game. We got the Washington Commanders going to the Atlanta Falcons.
You should put 7 on Atlanta.
Kev, would you drop Kuhn's score with Atlanta?
Oh, Kuhn put 7 on the Falcones.
As me and Kuhn have been on the Falcons train all year, minus me last week, we're going to continue to ride the Falcons train. And the Commanders, they just lost to the Bears. The 1-4 Bears, 0-4 at the time. Which, honestly, I think the Commanders are an okay team. But Atlanta, they just got that dogs in them. They're just them. So, I went with 9 on Atlanta. The Commanders, they're but Atlanta, like I said, they got them dogs in them. Great defense, gonna make Sam Howell regret playing for the Commanders, even though he probably does regret that since he's been sacked like 30 times plus. And gonna be good for the Commanders. All right, Aaron, Caleb, one of y'all two can go.
Yeah, I put 1 on the Manders. Y'all know I don't believe in the Falcons. I haven't all year. Washington's on extra rest. They played the Thursday nighter. They got embarrassed. I think they'll have a bounce back game here because they looked good against Philly, then come out and dropped an egg. And I've called Atlanta wrong all year. I've called the Manders wrong. That's why there's only 1 point on this game, because I don't like this game. And yeah, that's all I really have to say is I got 1 on the Manders, and I don't like this game.
So I put 5 on Atlanta. I think they're going to have a good game. I could see the Commanders winning this, though. I could see a bounce back game. But I just think Atlanta's going to definitely... That run game is going to be a little too much for the Commanders.
I'll say this. Desmond Ridder played last week. I couldn't believe it, but Desmond Ridder played last week. So if he keeps doing that, then I'm just gonna have to accept that this Atlanta team is pretty damn good. But
I mean,
I don't.
Atlanta's good. They got a young team, and they got a lot of pieces they filled in, and you need a little chemistry. So
I mean,
especially with
I
young
agree
talent.
there. Like I said, I'm not a believer in Ritter, but if he does what he did last week, he led that 2-minute drive down the field. Like CJ led Houston down the field, they took the lead, and Desmond Ritter led a 2-minute game-winning drive down the field. Because at the end of the day, we know what Atlanta wants to do. They want to pound the rock, keep the ball on the ground.
They want to run.
Washington, I think Sam Howell's pretty good when he gets the time. Now, that being said, I've said this for a while. I don't think he makes it to the end of the year. He's been sacked like 30 times. He's been he has like
he's on
a
pace
Joe
to get
Burrow.
sacked, like the most ever.
Yeah, he's like a Joe Burrow rookie season O-line. He just keeps getting nailed. When he's had time to throw, he's made good throws, he's made good reads, but Washington don't have an O-line to protect him. He's just been back there getting killed. Also, Mook, how are you going to say you rode the Falcons all year and then go, but last week, I didn't ride them?
Ride them. I had to throw it in there. I'm not a liar, damn it.
I guess that is true, but yeah, like I said, I'll take my one on the Manders. If Atlanta wins, it's just a 1-point loss. It's just a game that I don't have a vibe for either of these teams. It's like I was saying in our group chat, the two teams I don't have a vibe for are the Packers and the Falcons. I just don't know how to feel about them. But moving on, I'm excited to see which way y'all went with this game. I got the Minnesota Vikings going to the Chicago Bears. Well, Mook, you know what I did, brother?
You bared down?
Oh, I bared down. I got 2 on the Chicago Bears. Yeah, this is just riding the hot hand. Fields has thrown 8 TDs in the last 2 weeks. Fields is in my starting lineup this week. Cousins just lost Jefferson. The Vikings defense is Swiss cheese. Like, I have no reason. Chicago's on extra rest. They're at home. I got no reason to think that they're not going to stay hot offensively. This game might low-key be a shooter of the week game. But, I mean, I got 2 on the Bears. This is a game I could very well see Minnesota winning. But, I mean, they lost their best player. The defense is Swiss cheese. Chicago's on extra rest. Phil just thrown 8 TDs in 2 weeks. Like, Chicago kind of seems to be... They seem to be rolling on teams that they can get rolling with. But when they play a team that's really good, that team kind of stymies them. So, I'm going to keep riding that hot hand. I'm going to ride them at home. And I'm going to pray that Phil drops me a nice 40 burger because your boy needs it this week. And
so,
Kuhn also bared down. Kuhn put 4 on the Bears.
Asian and I bared down. Asian put 4 and I put 3. I mean, like you were saying, Fields has thrown 8 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. They found a little something. They're betting DJ Moore, who is a really good target. They're starting to look at him a little more now. So, I mean, they're still garbage. I mean, both these teams are absolutely garbage. So, the only good thing about Minnesota was Jay Jettas, and, well, he's out for a little bit now, so.
It's very saddening as a Jay Jetta owner.
But as an Addison owner.
oh, you're about to reap those benefits, my friend.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Kirk's not having a bad season. And I will throw in, there's rumors of them trying to trade Kirk, but it's like, Kirk has a no-trade contract. Why would he want to leave? I feel like they're just stuck with Kirk Cousins till the end of the season.
Unfortunately.
Man, y'all pretty much covered all that need to be covered.
Did you bear down as well, Mookie?
Down with 5. I'll just keep it.
It does scare me when we all end up on one side.
I mean, after them dropping 40 points on the Manders, I don't know if the
Well,
Vikings are
I can
dropping
say
40.
this. I can say this, right? I feel Chicago may be just a teeny bit overvalued, but when I seen that Justin Field did it with his hand, I was like, I don't know how to feel about that. I'd like to see him running, but then he did it 2 weeks in a row, and I'm looking at
Yeah.
me playing C.J. Stroud. I'm like, I have to play Jefferson. I have to keep riding him till he's
but-
not hot.
Goff is playing Tampa, and then I'm like, Fields is playing Minnesota, so I'm torn. Because I'm like, Tampa's
Dude,
got a better defense, but then when it comes to production, I'm like, Goff has proven himself.
Oh, I'm so scared I'm gonna make the wrong decision, because the lady I'm playing in that league, she's got a really good squad,
Right.
and I'm gonna need I also had to play against Chiefs defense, so knowing already that her defense got her 15, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
well, that's just fantastic. But moving on, we actually got a good one here. This is the game I hope makes TV out of all of them. We got the Seattle Seahawks going to Cincinnati to play Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I'll start by saying Kuhn put 9 on the Bengals.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Asian put 9 on the Bengals, and I also put 10. I think Cincinnati is Burrow's gonna really start looking at Jamar. So I really think that Cincinnati's going to find their stride now, and we're going to start seeing them kind of destroy these mediocre to below average teams.
Well, this is where we disagree. Because I got 6 on the Seahawks.
Dang.
I think... Well, here's the thing. I don't think Seattle's a mediocre or below average team. You look at their schedule this year. They beat Detroit. They've only lost to the Rams. They only lost to the Rams. This Seattle team is also coming. I think they were on bye week last week, so they're coming off a rest. I mean, now they did get just slapped in the face week 1, but since then, they beat the Giants 24-3. They put up 37 on the hopeless Panthers. Put up 37 against the Lions. So this team's averaging about 30 points. I think this is going to be one of the better games of the week. I definitely think it could go either way, so I'm not like...
If Seattle has beaten a good team, so we handed Detroit that game, or as a Detroit fan, we literally handed that game over. We had it won a few times. And so, I mean, yeah, a win's a win. I get that. But that is not an impressive win to me.
Hey, that is completely fair. But I'm saying, an
impressive win is Detroit going into Carolina and absolutely mollywopping them. Because that's what we're supposed to do. So, I need to see Seattle play a good team. And, I want to see them punch them in the mouth before I'm like, yeah, I really like this team.
Hey,
they're not a bad team.
That's completely
they're
fair.
A young team.
Here's the thing. I don't think Cincinnati mollywopping Arizona is impressive. I think Cincinnati is still kind of getting to look impressive. They won a game on Monday night where they beat up a Rams team that I don't know what that team was doing. But I said, I like Seattle here. I need to see it from Cincinnati. They could very well be back. I'm not completely convinced that Joe Burrow's healthy yet, though. I mean, maybe they just throw it to Chase 20 times, and maybe that's how this game goes.
Opened up their eyes with Jamar's interview, where he was like, you can tell that he's getting very frustrated because he doesn't lose. I mean, college.
Well, he also came out and said he wanted Joe Burrow to sit and get healthy. and Burrow
yeah,
just
he
kept
said that early
playing.
on in the year.
So I
So,
think, right,
because
I
of
think
course,
if they're losing games and Joe Burrow was sitting getting healthy, he'd be a lot more like kind of chill about it. But with Burrow playing and them losing, he's like, well, if you're playing and we're still
what,
losing,
so
then
you need to
like,
sit down
yeah,
before
the
when we need to. Deep in the year, you're not there.
because here's the thing, I think we can all agree that Cincinnati don't go far if Joe Burrow's not healthy. Like,
Not at all. They don't go anywhere.
yeah, exactly. And this team seems to be good at starting late. So you say, like, their bye week is, I think, like week 7, week 8, something like that. Say they go into that with 3-4 wins, they come out with the healthy Joe Burrow. That team could roll off the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, because like me and Mookie were talking about earlier before we started, AFC is a big toss up right now. Actually, like I mean, Kansas City's not looking like the big powerhouse that they usually are. You got Buffalo, Miami, kind of flirting around with the second, third, first place. You got the Jags, kind of
And I'll say
hanging
this:
around.
the South is a little bit spicy. Like Houston and Indy aren't on that level, but they're looking spicy over there. Like that division
Well,
don't look
Indy
like a
with
complete crapshoot.
Richardson out. I mean, that hurts.
Yo,
I mean,
but
they could possibly win with Gardner, but I
we'll
mean,
talk about Indy. I think Gardner. I think the ceiling with Richardson's way higher, but I think right now Gardner's probably the better quarterback. It's gonna be a lot more throwing, and he did win last time he played, so I think they'll be fine. But if I'm Indy, I'm very concerned because that's 3 games and 3 times your first round quarterback has gotten hurt,
right.
which is not good.
What did Mookie go with?
But I was gonna say I put 6 on Seattle. I just think Geno has been looking good. I just think those weapons, man, Metcalf, Lockett. I'd like to see them use Jackson Smith and Jigba a little bit more. Kenny Walker's having a season. Like, and they're coming off of a bye, so they're rested. So I just think that if Cincinnati's gonna be able to win this game, they're gonna have to be ready to put up points because that's kind of most Seattle games. I think that defense is still learning.
Might be the shooter.
It definitely might be. It definitely might be, but it's one of those where I just think Cincinnati's going to have to be ready to put up points because normally when Seattle loses, it's shootouts.
Right.
Like, that's what they're kind of known for. Now, Seattle has a young defense. I think that defense is going to get better the more experience it gets, but Seattle's known for these 30-27, 37-34 games, and I don't think this will be any different. And I got 6 points on Pete Carroll off a bye. I feel very comfortable at that spot.
I could see this game going either way. I went with the Seahawks with 3. And you know what? As Aaron said, I'll make this my shootout game of the week. And
one of these days I'll make a graphic for when you do that, Mook.
But yeah, I'll just keep it short and simple. Like I said, I can see it going either way. That's why I went with low confidence. Originally, I had this at 7, but I ended up switching it around, and yeah, I went with 3, and I just picked the Seahawks over the Bengals. I don't really have a really good reason why.
Oh, so you're riding Seattle with me.
I am, but lower confidence.
I'll say this: if Joe Burrow comes out and rips 350, that would show me a lot this week.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the week where if Cincinnati is going to get on that win train, they're going to come out and they're going to show Seattle what it's about and remind people like, hey, we were just about there.
See, I think me and you are like far. I think we're in agreement on where we have Cincinnati overall. I think we're just separate on where we have Seattle.
Yeah.
Because I'll say this, and now this is looking dumb because San Fran looks so dominant. Preseason, I had Seattle winning that division. If that tells you what kind of like shine I had on that team. Now, obviously, if we picked a month in, it would be different. Now it would obviously be San Fran, because Brock Purdy's looked.
I mean, we all said our piece, right?
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about San Fran. San Fran is
I was
going
like,
to play Cleveland, but San Fran has looked fantastic. I didn't think
well,
Purdy was going to look as well as he's looked. Um, me and Kuhn both put 14 on the Niners to keep things short and sweet, but
so did Asian,
yeah, like
and
Purdy's
so did
looked
I.
fantastic. Um, I thought he was gonna have some growing pains, you know, being from the 6th round and stuff, but and he to be fair, he hadn't had to make some tough throws that the other
I was gonna
quarterbacks
say,
have had to make. But I
I
mean,
will say most other teams he go to, you will see his mistakes because in college
mm-hmm.
he made a lot of mistakes. But the thing is Shanahan,
Well,
his daddy was a halfback kind of guy. He is a quarterback kind of guy, where he can take any quarterback and make you look great.
well,
Now, I think Brock has great talent. He's really showing great pocket presence, awareness. He's going through all progressions really fast, getting rid of the ball. He's just playing smart ball. So, San Fran is one of the most this San Fran team this year is one of the most dominant football teams we have ever seen. They went out, they stacked their defensive line. They got, what was it, Hargrave?
yes, they also
Um,
just got the guy from Denver.
yeah, Randy Gregory. I mean, San Fran is looking to win, and right now, there is not a single team in this league that can go toe to toe with San Fran right now and say we can beat you.
Um, I was gonna say part of that is you're paying Purdy next to nothing because of where he was
Oh,
drafted,
under him,
where he's at.
970,000.
You look at it, you pay, say they have a guy that they're paying, then you don't get C-Mac, and you don't get Fred Warner, and you don't get to bring in all these pieces you've brought in. Part of the
Exactly.
reason that San Francisco's so good is because they don't have a hole on that team. If there's a hole on that team, tell me where it is. The secondary's good. The D line's good. Receivers, good. Halfback, best in the league. Quarterback, solid. Like, they don't. Purdy don't have to make the throws because of how talented that team is. Like, you know, he has to make 2 or 3 really good ones a game. And they
Well,
just went and
Kyle,
shellacked the other team that's
Kyle
supposed to
also
be
know what
one
he
of the
has,
3
and
favorites in the NFC.
right, and so Kyle knows what he has. He knows he doesn't have a Josh Allen or a Mahomes to throw 80 yards down the field.
Well,
So he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give 10, 15, 20, 25 yards. And that's what we're going to work with, and we're going to get you comfortable and in a rhythm. And when you're comfortable, maybe we throw some deep balls.
And this team's playing to go 17-0, man. Like,
Oh, dude, they're playing like the
I feel
Patriots did
they
back to
got
Randy Moss.
they got a chip on their shoulder. I think they believed last year if Purdy didn't get hurt that they were better than that Philly team.
Oh, yeah, I think that I truly believe that if Purdy stays in, that maybe it's not a healthy Super Bowl.
That is true, but yeah, I got 14 on the Niners. Cleveland, PJ Walker starting. This is a kind of a bad spot for that defense is great, but this is just a bad spot for the Browns to be in. Moot, go ahead and go, because
Yeah.
I want to bring up one other point before we move on.
Yes, I got a couple too.
14 on the Niners. I'll just keep it short and sweet because I think they're the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, you've been saying that. Even as a Cowboys fan, you said y'all were going to get shellacked last week.
So we all just went 14 confidence on this game. I don't know if you guys picked that up.
We did, but I'll be real, I don't feel bad about it.
That's awesome. I love it. No, I just think it's awesome that we all picked 14 confidence on this game.
Well, I have one game coming up very, very soon that all my confidence are on. I want to say, though, before we go, I don't know what you want to talk about, Aaron, but can we just...
I just want to... Oh, go ahead.
Can we talk about Deshaun Watson for a minute? Like, I just don't... I mean, the football gods are giving Cleveland exactly what they deserve for giving him a fully guaranteed contract and stuff. So, let me get the timeline of events straight. He gets cleared. Says like an hour and a half before the game, I'm not playing. The rookie comes in, looks awful, which, fair point, probably not the rookie's fault. He probably didn't get any starting snaps throughout the week. Probably got very minimal snaps. Got thrusted in a position like an hour before game time where, Deshaun's like, well, I'm not playing, even though he was cleared. And now this week he's missing with the shoulder injury. But it's like, you just backed the brink truck to this man's house. Is there a point where, you're just like, well, tough it up and play because we just gave you a fully guaranteed contract. It's not like you're sitting there waiting on a contract or anything.
Right.
It just baffles me.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's crazy. They put a lot of money into that.
Yeah, and now they got PJ Walker, who is my boy, but this is not the spot where you want to come out against San Fran. But go ahead, Aaron.
No.
That's what I wanted to say.
So that trick play that the Lions had, and then San Fran, of course, ran it.
Yeah.
So Purdy took a shot on a couple of those throws. He stayed in the pocket and delivered it on a couple different balls. Really good balls. And he's literally got a 300-pound man about to just light him up. He literally just looks like a veteran, and I love it. Because everyone is calling him a system quarterback. So I really hope he stays healthy, and I want to see San Fran take over for a couple of years.
And if he goes out, who gets to come in? My boy Sam Darnold.
Yep.
But yeah, I hope Purdy stays healthy too. I mean, like the NFC, I think San Fran and Philly play in the regular season, and I'm ready to see that. I think it happens like after the midway point, so we're gonna see the best version of those two teams. Woo!
Yeah. It's gonna be a fun game.
Well, you know what's not a fun game? This next game. The Carolina Panthers go into the Miami Dolphins. I'm not even going to rant about this one. All my points are on Miami. Kuhn put 12 on Miami.
A-Chain put 12.
No A-Chain.
I put 13.
As a Mostert fan, I'm very happy.
Oh, Mostert's about to eat. I mean,
yeah, he's the only one that's even in like the same
touchdowns.
speed stratosphere. But I just don't see how Carolina even keeps this competitive. It's in Miami. I mean, I got all my points on Miami just continuing to roll.
And they just took an ass whooping from Buffalo, so a couple weeks ago, so they got some frustration they still want to take out.
Oh, they came back and beat down the Giants last week.
And now they're going to do it to Carolina.
And now they're going to do it to Carolina.
They might drop 80 on them.
What did you and Asian put on this?
I put 13. Asian put 12.
There was some huge favorites this week, so it was really easy to put the big points in.
No, there really was. Literally the last few games, like
KC, Miami,
Niners, Miami.
I mean, we'll get to it, but Philly and Buffalo. There was some gimmies this week.
Yeah.
What do you got on this game, Mook?
I also put 15 on the Dolphins. Panthers ass. Dolphins. That's all it needs. That's all it needs to be said.
All right. Well, short and sweet. I love it. This next game, they've already played once this year. It's the second meeting. The Indianapolis Gardner Minshew Colts go in to Trevor and the Jags' house. I mean, I got 10 on the Jags. I probably got the Jags a little high, but can't help it. That's my favoritism to Trevor.
Just to throw this out here real quick, Asian has 2 on the Colts.
I mean, it don't surprise me. The Jags have been in London. You know, it's funny. Kuhn also has 2 on the Colts.
So I really, I swear to God, these guys have mimicked every single confidence. They literally have. They've been the same each time so far. So
let me make sure I have. No, I definitely have Kuhn's up. I think I was say. Let me make sure. Yeah, I definitely have Coons up. I had to make sure. Um, Agent said he thinks me and you are both reading Coons Pick'ems.
What? Oh
Agents.
God, Asian. It literally says Josh.
Let's
Nope.
look here.
It's because I scooted over a little too far and it went to Coons, and not just his. So, wait, how do I?
That's because Aaron was reading your confidence as well.
You're right.
Because
yeah.
Agent put
Okay.
6 on the Jags.
Yeah. So he had 12 on Kansas City, 7 on the Ravens, 5 on the Falcons, 1 on the Bears, 8 on the Bengals, and 15 on the Niners, 14 on the Dolphins,
I'm gonna be honest, Agent. I didn't notice.
and 6 on the Jags.
It happens though. We fixed it. Yeah, I have 10 on the Jags. Maybe I got them a little bit too high, but at home now they are on the London comeback game, and the Jags always play these division games. Very weird. So I can see why both these teams are 3-2. But I mean, the Jags are set. I mean, you got Ridley, you got Kirk. ETN's coming off a huge game.
No, ETN has been showing out.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, I mean, I like them at home here. They beat Indy and Indy. I'm taking them to get the series sweep, but
it's their third straight home game at least.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not shocked if the Colts win, but I'm gonna keep riding Trevor, but while I can. When we get done, actually, because it'll be a nice segue into it. I do have something I have to bring up before we go on to the next game.
So is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
Okay. Originally this is my 3-point game because I really like the Colts. I had the Colts picked at first, but then I remembered that last time I picked against them, I'm pretty sure the Jags are on a 8-win streak against the Colts, 7-win streak, and I think the streak continues. So I went with the Jags with 7, mostly because they're in Jacksonville, and I'm pretty sure the Jags beat the shit out of the Colts the first week they played.
They did.
Maybe it was close.
No, I think it was pretty bad. Now, to be fair, I mean, you can make a case for the Colts. Jonathan Taylor, the Jags defense is very mediocre.
I mean, I can see me putting 1 to 3 point confidence if Anthony Richardson's playing.
That's what
Anthony's playing, it's a different team because he brings a lot more height behind him. He brings a lot more hope.
With Gardner, you're going to get a lot more air in the ball.
Yeah, but I mean, with Anthony, you got someone who can also take off, someone who can extend plays very well. Gardner's all right, but I'm definitely taking the upside of Anthony over Gardner. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I know. I 100% agree. Like I said, I think Indy will be fine this month. I just don't think this is a game that they get.
Like I said, I put 12 on the Jags, so
I got 10 on them. Before we move on, I do just want to say, do y'all happen to know what well, Mook probably knows because I've said it. Do you happen to know what the game is next Thursday night, Aaron?
Next Thursday?
Yeah.
It's upcoming?
Yeah.
No.
It's the game for my heart. It's Trevor playing the Saints. I just can't lose in that. I'm on vacation. We get to kick up my feet and watch Trevor and the Saints. I'm just a win-win in this situation.
What would you do if the game was a 3-3 game?
A 3-3 game? Well, then, you see the best of Trevor and the best of the Saints defense. The Jags just aren't getting points, bro. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, I always want the Saints to win first. Y'all know how I feel about Dennis Allen as a head coach. Makes it very hard to pick him.
Well, if it makes you feel worse, I want the Saints to lose. Only because you're a Saints.
Wait, you say you want the Saints to lose because I'm a Saints fan?
It's the brotherly love, you know what I mean?
I feel that. But, yeah, it's a perfect segue because I just wanted to put in that little teaser that the Thursday night When we come on next week, we'll be talking about the game that took my heart. But that's the perfect segue as the New Orleans Saints are going to play the Houston Texans. I got 9 on the Saints. This is probably the most confident I've felt in them all year. I mean, Stroud's look great, but that Saints defense is tough. We don't give up many points. I feel like we're going to throw a lot of kind of crazy reads at the rookie quarterback. I feel like, this might be one of his rougher games. The offense still scares me, but I feel like this might be one where the Saints get away with putting, 17 up and winning and getting out of there. Kamara's looked great since he's been back. We just forgot we have Chris Olave on the team since he came back. Trust me, as an Olave fantasy owner, it's annoying. But Mike Thomas has been looking good. Olave's been looking good. The tight end pool's been a pick'em. Jimmy Graham has a TD this year. We've used Jawan Johnson. Foster Moreau got in last week, so New Orleans is hitting you with a lot of variety, and we still have Taysom there. I like New Orleans in this spot though. Like I said, I just think our defense is really good, and that's where a rookie quarterback will struggle. So I got 9 on the Saints, and Cunard put 3 on the Saints.
So Asian and I both put 2 on the Texans.
Hey, that's a fair point.
I mean, honestly, I can go either way here. I just think being at Texans, I just think they're going to squeeze it out. Or the Saints are just absolutely going to mollywop them.
Look,
But last week, I did go against the Saints against the Patriots, and they 34-0 them. But I do think Houston's got a better offense.
So here's the thing. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
No, there's just a lot of upside. There's a lot of young talent in Houston, and when they're clicking, they're good. But you can definitely tell there's a little chemistry that they still got to build.
I would assume that Tank Dell's missing the game with a concussion.
Yeah.
That's my assumption. I have him in 2 leagues, and I'm not playing him in either. But I will say I picked against the Saints last week, too, and my mouth about dropped when I seen the Dennis Allen Saints delivered a 34-0 shutout. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Because, I had this team projected to win 6 games, and they're 3-2. So I'm like, maybe this team's better than I give them credit. So if they ended up losing here, I would just call it a common Dennis Allen L.
I took the Texans with 6 points. Not gonna lie, I kind of like the Texans this year. I think they have a pretty solid offense, and I looked at it as a battle of. For me, it was kind of like a battle of the offenses, I guess. And
Saints and offense? Ugh. We don't have an offense this year, brother.
Yeah, I know. I didn't like your offense. I like your defense. Do not like your offense, though. And I like the Texans' offense, so I gave them the win in this one. I don't know nothing about the Texans' defense. That's why I didn't say battle of defense or anything. But I'm going with the higher power offense over the Saints' offense, so that's why I picked the Texans this week to win.
Well, I will tell you this, if you want something to make you feel good. This team did blow out the Steelers, who have a damn good defense. Aside from that, though, they have played nothing that resembles the Saints' defense aside from the Steelers. So, take that for what you will. I'm riding the Saints, though. That's just the most confident I've been in them all year, so if they let me down, well then, that's a perfect, what would we call it? That's a perfect, wrap-up of the Dennis Allen effect. When you start to feel good about him, Dennis Allen lets you down. It's the equivalent of liking the Cowboys.
Hey, what now?
You're built up just to be let down, Mook.
You know what, that is... that is true.
So
where we were last, and I was happy with how we did last year. No Super Bowl, but I was fine with it.
This next game is the ugliest game of the week, y'all. The New England Patriots going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, I got 4 on Vegas. New England just looked like shit. I don't love Vegas, but say what you want about Jimmy G. Jimmy G wins a large percentage of his games, especially when he's playing a team that's kind of below him. I would put New England below him, so I got 4. I got 4 on the Raiders, and Kuhn put 5 on the Raiders.
Asian put 4 on Zayretas, and I put 6. Patriots are terrible. I mean,
I'll be real.
I don't know how.
I'll say this.
Mac Jones got paid.
I'll say that I don't think he got paid. I'm pretty sure he's still on his rookie deal.
I thought he. Oh no, it's Daniel Jones that got paid.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I feel bad for that man because I don't think that's all on him. I don't think he should have gotten paid how he got paid, but I don't think everything going wrong in New York is his fault. I'll say this. This could be a game that Belichick could sneak out, though. I could see Belichick beating the Raiders. That's why there's only 4 points on this game. What do you got for us, Mook?
This is my reverse shooter game of the week.
This is your 9-6 game of the week.
More like 3-3 game of the week.
Well, I give Devontae Adams credit, and Jimmy's good at finding his big receiver. Like, you've seen it with Devontae, you've seen it with Jacoby Myers. He finds the hot hand.
Beating him.
Yeah, he finds the hot hand.
Man, I talk about offenses a lot. The Patriots, I think they have the 32nd offense in all the league. Hell, they might even have the 3rd offense in all the league. I talk about how bad the Steelers are, but no. Patriots offense, ass. So fucking ass. So I picked the Raiders with 2. I mean, I could somehow see the Patriots winning, but I don't know. That offense doesn't like to find the end zone.
Well, I'll say this. They're playing the Raiders, and the difference between the Raiders defense and the Saints defense is a metric shit ton.
Max Crosby, man.
Crosby's a dog. It's the rest of the defense that converts me. That disturbs me.
Definitely underappreciated.
Now,
he is one of the better pass rushers.
If they ever get Chandler Jones out there, I would like that as well.
I mean, Chandler's done. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if he returns. Unfortunately,
I don't know either.
I would love to see him.
I know he's going through a lot of stuff, so we send our positive vibes. I don't really know what the whole story is with him.
Yeah, he's got some CTE going on.
Well, we send positive.
Kind of going pretty crazy upstairs, unfortunately. So
send our positive vibes and hope for the best.
Yeah, see me quick.
Do you think he got it before the season started? Because I know they were talking about like locking players out of the Raiders facility, and he was one of them.
The Raiders are a mess, bro. That's.
Yeah.
But what he's saying, Mook, is that he's had too many head injuries, and it's starting to mess with him.
Yeah, that's what CTE is all about. Is just over time it can, like, it's not just your head gets hit that play and it happens. So over time, with the amount of hits, tackles, and everything else that he's had. Like, it's getting to him.
Pretty sure Antonio Brown's got CTE.
Oh, he definitely is a great example of CTE.
Any injury involving the head is just really scary.
Yeah, like Tua's bound to have stuff like that happen. Just because, I mean, last year he took, 4 concussions in, 2 games?
Yeah, With Tua, man, we just cross our fingers and hope he stays healthy. Because he's a fun player to watch.
I do like Tua. I wasn't about him at first, but nah, he's a good quarterback. I would love to see him.
Well, part of that is Miami's built that man for success. He just has to stay healthy to achieve it.
Did we all say our piece in this crap game to go to another crap game?
I did. Well, I did. I think we did.
Yeah. What did you put on this game, Mook?
Oh, I put 2 on the Raiders.
Okay, cool. All right, so moving on. I actually think this is an interesting matchup, being in division and all. It's the Arizona Cardinals at the LA Rams. Well, y'all already know Kuhn put one on this game. He even said it in the chat earlier.
In the cards.
Yeah.
I
I
could.
Here's
That's
the
a
thing.
tough one.
I got 8 on the Rams and McVay. I mean, I will say that I do believe the line for this game's kind of crazy. It's the Rams by 7. I don't think the Rams are winning this game by 7. So if you wanted a personal bet on my end, I'd bet Arizona to cover. But I think the Rams do win this game overall. I mean, Cooper Cup's back. He looked great. Puka looks great. They like to air the ball out. I mean, but Arizona, dude, they got that dog in them, man. They're in every game that they've played. They even played San Fran closer than you would think. So I think
unfortunately, that Rams team is doing great without Cup. I mean, they were doing not great, but good, and now they're adding him.
I know.
So those two receivers are about to be.
Oh, he came back and instantly looked like Cooper Cup.
Exactly. So I mean, and they both got their targets. They both ate. They got theirs.
And I think Atwell still looked okay as well.
Right.
Like he still looked like a 3.
That's just gonna be a little too much for Arizona.
I mean, I agree with you. I got 8 on the Rams. I'm just saying, like, if I could gamble, I would bet Arizona keeping it within a TD. Just because it's in division. These division games are always closer than you think they're gonna be. I mean, I have the Rams winning as well with half my confidence, so I'm pretty confident in the Rams, and I think that offense is explosive, and I think they're slowly getting better on defense, but I just think the line of Rams by 7 is just a bit outrageous. But that's my piece on this game. 8 on the Los Angeles Rams.
Asian also put wrong way 9 on the Rams.
I put 8 on the Rams.
Put 8 on the Rams. Anybody got anything else they want to say?
No, but this next game sure in the heck would have been interesting if Rodgers was playing.
Oh, I know. I'm surprised Philly's only a 7-point favorite, actually. We got the Philadelphia Eagles going to the New York Jets. I got 13 on Philly. I just think this is a game where that Jets defense is good, but Philly has a way of wearing you out. They got arguably the best O-line and D-line in the league. So they wear you out on both ends of the ball. They're a very physical team. They're going to run the ball down your throat and make those they need to. A.J. Brown's been on fire. Like I said, I feel like last week, I don't know if we've seen him completely click, but I think last week was the first week that I seen that offense, and I said, okay, we're starting to get back to prime Philly.
Right.
So I have no reason not to think Philly's going to keep rolling here. I put 13 on them, and Cunard put 11.
I think Ajon put a 13 too. He did, and I put 9. I mean, that Jets defense is getting nasty, and it's getting even better. But Philly is just. There's no way that offense can't go toe to toe with Philly. So defensively, it'll be a great game, but Philly's going, like you said, gonna wear them down to the point of.
And like I said, the Jets, they're about out of their tough schedule.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you, they play the Eagles, and then they get the Giants, the Chargers, the Raiders. So they finally get, like, the Chargers are a tough game, but they finally get a couple break after playing. Because you got to think, to start off the season, this team played Buffalo, which they won that game, but they played Buffalo, Dallas, the Chiefs.
Yep.
Like, they played the Patriots, who they never beat the Patriots. Even when the Patriots are ass, they never beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
So they finally start getting some easier teams after this. They get the Giants, they get the Raiders, they get the Falcons, the Texans, like, the Manders. So they finally kind of made it through, their hell apocalypse.
Right. Where maybe they can get a few games.
I put 13 on the Eagles. I think the Eagles are just a better team. I think they got it going on offense. I think they got it going on defense. And the Jets, I think they're really solid at defense, but that offense might be 31 ass.
So before,
And,
go ahead. My bad, Mook. I thought you were
and I think because the offense is so slow, and I mean, you got Zach Wilson throwing the ball. He kind of sucks. Just put it out there.
Hey, he's looked decent the last 2 weeks, so I don't think he'll look decent this game, but we'll see.
Outplayed Mahomes on
I don't know.
Thursday Night Football. Gotta give him a little bit of credit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Gotta give him a little bit of credit. He's been at least picking it up a little bit.
That's good to hear. But I wouldn't have known because I do not watch Jet games.
Before we move on to this, can I point out one thing to y'all real quick? The Eagles are currently 5-0, and they'll probably be 6-0. I mean, that's why they play the game. They're not 6-0 yet. Have y'all seen what they play after this?
Philly?
Yes.
Yeah, they got a real easy schedule.
No, they don't.
They don't? I thought they...
No, they play the Dolphins after this, which that's Sunday night game. They play the Dolphins, then they play the Commanders, who always play them tough. But after the Dolphins, they play the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Niners, the Cowboys, and the Seahawks. All the way up until Christmas. So you're telling me in the next 8 weeks they play the Dolphins, the Cowboys twice, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Niners. Those 3 games are in a row too. Chiefs, Bills, Niners. And then
they
Seattle.
Might have problems with the Cowboys.
I feel like they'll
it,
probably split with Dallas like they normally do. I mean, if I had to guess, I'm just saying. Like, to Philly's credit, they've started 5-0, and looking at what they have on the schedule, they probably needed to start 5-0 because they have some dogs coming up. I mean, when you got to play, your division rival, your biggest division rival twice. You play the Manders, who always play you tough, but then all your other games are, Dolphins and then Chiefs, Bills, Niners. That's a rough 3-week stretch.
Chiefs, Bills, Niners. That's pretty rough.
Yeah. Chiefs, Bills, Niners, and then you go back and play the Cowboys right after that. And then you go play Seattle, who hitting some bums. You get to end the season against the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Giants, which is... We'll see what the Cardinals look like when Kyler returns, but it kind of even... This next few weeks for Philly is... After this week is rough. Alright. But I just wanted to point that out, because I heard that and I was like, Jesus, Philly did not get a scheduling win here.
Mookie picked Philly too, right? He already...
Yes, he went. He basically said, Philly really good, Zach Wilson, Jets ass. Moving on, Aaron, I'm interested to hear what we're saying about this. We got Detroit going to Tampa Bakerfield.
So, I got 8 on my boys. Our defense right now is playing out of this world. We have the number 1 rushing defense. I mean, we held Green Bay to a negative 1 yard in the first half of a football game in the pros. We held Bijan to, 30 yards? No one's really gotten over us. I mean, we had a bad week against Seattle, but that was it. We went into Carolina. They came to us and we mollywopped them. We've been just beating teams. And, I mean, Tampa's good. I mean, I like what Baker's doing this year. But I just don't... Aiden's a factor. And I think it's time people start realizing that he is going to win games. Because he already has this year. So, I'm excited. That's all I got to say. I'm glad it got moved to 4:25, though.
Was this originally a morning game?
It was.
Okay.
It was a 12 o'clock game. Or 1 o'clock game.
What did Asian put on this game?
So Asian put 10 on my boys, and I do. But all right, you guys make your picks, and then I got some other stuff to say about the line.
I'm pretty sure I'm probably riding Tampa along. Go ahead, Mook. Tell me how much you put against Tampa and how Baker's ass.
12. 12 on the line. Ass, and I've said my piece.
Coon put 10 on your boys as well. Yeah, I got 7 on Tampa. First off, Aaron, thank you for giving the Bucks some credit. This team's out here. I said they were gonna be decent this season. They're out here 3-1, and I mean they look decent. I don't think they're world beaters or anything. The main reason I like them here is they're off a bye. I don't think they're gonna be winning because of Rashad White. So I think it's gonna be a rough Russian day. I think that most of it's gonna be through the air, but Tampa off a bye at home. I'm gonna ride it. I might regret it. We'll see. I think Detroit's flying high right now, and maybe they'll continue to fly higher. But nobody wants to give this Tampa team any credit, Aaron, and you were one of the few that did.
I do give them credit, but
That's what I
they're
just
coming
said.
into a team who is they're hungry, and we, of course, know what everyone's always said, and what we lost one game to Seattle, who has beaten us 6 straight years now.
To be
And
fair,
everyone wanted
that's
to talk about same old Lions, and then what did we do? We just started punching people in the mouth. And if you look at our schedule right now, tell me a team that can beat us.
I actually just put it up. Like I said,
Dallas is the only question mark.
Riding Tampa. Lamar's an interesting one. Raiders, y'all kick their ass. Chargers is another interesting one. That's gonna be a shootout, I think.
Oh, that's probably almost gonna be 100 points in that game.
Bears, that's a win. Packers, that's a win. Saints, y'all should beat our ass, but the defense will probably keep us in it. Bears, that's a win. Broncos, that's a win. Vikings, that should be a win. Cowboys, Cowboys is
That's what I said.
December 30th. I'll have to see how both teams are looking at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's an interesting one. Yeah, the only other team that I see on here that's really the only other team that I see that I personally like on here is the Chargers, but they're known for blowing games.
Right.
And like I said, Lamar next week is interesting. And I don't really know how to feel about that. I feel like the Ravens are a hot and cold team, depending on what week you catch them.
They're just not going to be able to run the ball at all, and we just seen that Lamar cannot rely on those receivers, not even a little bit. Even as reliable, faithful.
Well, I think
Andrews dropped one.
I think I think right now I'm just putting that as a 1 week. Like they choked, but we'll see what it turns into. Like I said, though, I have Tampa coming off a bye here. We'll see. Maybe Detroit blows them out and I look dumb for this pick. I got 7 on them, so it isn't like that's just kind of how the confidence fell because the low games are the low games are really low. All my low confidence is on Chicago, Washington, Vegas.
I hope Detroit blows them out. I hope we see 5 interceptions.
I just think
Baker.
I just think that this is an interesting matchup because it's Detroit's a little banged up. They're trying to get healthy. Tampa's coming off a bye. I don't know. The only question is they don't know if Mike Evans is playing yet. I don't know what his status is, but
so this year is literally a repeat for us of last year. I'm pretty sure we come out, and I want to say we win our first game, and then people start dropping like flies, and we just lose. This year, same thing happened. Beat KC, and people just started dropping in that Seattle game.
And like
the
I
only
said,
difference is we started winning with backups.
I think the main thing about this spot on the schedule for me personally is Tampa coming off a bye and them being at home.
They're fresh.
So I'm gonna ride that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'll take that lump if I end up taking it. I'm in like last place, so I got to make up points on these pick'ems.
I've been doing pretty good. Asian
You're in
jumped up
first.
there on me.
I was
Yeah, I've been in first the entire time.
I was in first like that last year. First 2 years we did this. First year I was in first, and Diablo came back all the way towards the end of the year. Then
I
last
remember,
year
yeah, that's
I was in
disgusting.
first, and I just managed to keep it last year, so I had a good year. This year I'm 5 games above 500, but it's been a very bumpy process filling out these teams.
First year, I was doing pretty good. Honestly, it came down between me and you,
Yup.
and then I was like, you know what? Let's make it interesting. I'll go with who you don't go with in the Super Bowl.
Oh, well, do you remember actually what happened? I forgot to switch, so Asian ended up winning.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, I'm taking Cincinnati. And I never went and actually switched to the Rams.
That's awesome.
And Asian ended up winning because of that.
It was like, I won. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, Asian sitting there just like, man, Kai's a dumbass. He never changed his pick'ems. But all right, y'all, we got. Oh, go ahead, Mook.
Here,
Huh?
I was down.
You're cutting out on my end.
I said my second year, I was down there with Kuhn.
Yeah, Kuhn picks with his heart. That's how he does his pick'ems. That's why we love him.
Yep.
All right, y'all ready for prime time? Because nothing says prime time like the New York Giants, baby.
So
New
Asian and I
York's
both put
going to play
11 on
Buffalo. Yeah, I got 12 on Buffalo, and my final for this game is 31-13.
Mine's 35-24 Giants, and our senior Asians is 9 Giants, 35 Bills.
It's just a lot of... The
I don't know
NFL
why I
bought
put
into the
24.
Giants, and the Giants are not a good team. Now, we talked about Daniel Jones. It don't look like he's going to play this game. Looks like it's going to be Tyrod. Makes me wonder if
Tyrod's about to drop 7 touchdowns.
It just makes me wonder if Tyrod's going to look better than Daniel Jones has looked. Now, to Daniel Jones' credit, I don't think he should have got paid. Looks like Saquon will be back. I think Saquon's slated to be back.
That's the man that should have been paid.
But I don't think he should have been paid how he was paid. But at the same time, the man has no O-line. It's not 100% on him. Kind of like Sam Howell in his own division, he's getting killed just as much. Every time I see Daniel Jones, it's just him taking shot after shot after shot. Now they've got him hurt. So they went off, paid the man, and then I don't know if their O-line's hurt or if they just didn't pay any protection.
New York hasn't had an O-line in a minute.
But I mean,
Their
and
pieces are falling
you've had no Saquon, so it's like you don't even have that threat there. Your receiving core is way below average. I want Wandell to pop, but it's just getting harder and harder to believe it's gonna happen. I mean, tell me if you have no choice and you have to play a giant receiver. I mean, the only one I think you'd feel comfortable playing would be Sterling Shepard. He seems to be the most consistent one of the bunch.
Yeah.
Then you
He
don't
ain't where he was supposed to be though.
you don't feel good about that. But I just think the Giants have a ton of problems. The NFL bought into him after last season, so we keep getting them in prime time, and they're just not a good team right now. And I like Dayball a lot, but I think that that team needs a couple fresh receivers and an O-line change, because right now they're just getting their halfback and their quarterback just beat up and hurt. And even with Buffalo,
that's why they moved the Lions Tampa game up, because they needed another good game at 4:00.
Well, this would be the Sunday nighter. I wish they would have flexed Lions Tampa to Sunday night.
That would have been a better matchup, to be honest.
But I mean, I got 12 on Buffalo coming back from the even with them. I think they're not as good of a team losing their corner and their linebacker, obviously, but they're gonna light up the Giants. After losing that game to the Jags, they're about to, they're kind of rocky, They come at you quick, and they go for the knockout punch, and they're really good at it. They're really good at putting up points in bunches and playing with the lead. The thing with Buffalo is
Well, like I
if you
said,
can
they
play
were
them
number
close,
2.
if you can play them close, then that's where they normally kind of stumble. The Giants aren't gonna be able to play them foes. Aren't gonna be able to play them close. So I got 12 on Buffalo. Coon's got 13 on Buffalo.
To be fair, I think we all kind of bought into the Giants hype. Even I did. I was like, man, the Giants are gonna be a good team, and it makes me so happy to know that they've only won one game.
I thought they were gonna be a decent team. I didn't think they were gonna be this bad.
Oh, I don't think anyone expected that, but I'm all here for it. Now, sadly enough, I'm pretty sure the one win that they did have was like the only time they weren't in prime time, and last week.
Well, the
Kinda
one win that they did have, they came back from 28 down, so they were getting blown out in that game too.
Kind of sucks that we're gonna have to see the Giants in a fourth primetime game getting destroyed. I mean, I wish it was other teams playing, but you know, it is what it is. I went with 11 with the Bills, and my score is 3-27. Giants ass, Bills good, and that's it.
All right, and to bring us home, y'all. So Mook, Mook's kind of torn here, and because he's gonna be at Monday Night Raw while this game's going on. The Dallas Cowboys playing the Los Angeles Chargers. Give us the game script for this, Mook.
And if this game's ass, I can just continue to watch Raw. So, man, after seeing the Cowboys we got last week, man, my opinion is Cowboys, the offense is slow, the defense, when it actually plays, they're pretty solid. When they don't feel like playing, oh my God, we're shit. We have to rely on our defense way more than our offense. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I did pick my boys to win this week. I think the Chargers, they kind of just charger it up. I got the score being really close. I only went with 4 confidence. My score is Cowboys 19, Chargers 17. I'm hoping that our offense plays. I think we usually I feel like we usually suck at stopping the run. And Austin Eckler, he's coming back after taking a whole month off. So, I think it's going to be a big Austin Eckler night. I do have us coming away with the win. I think our defense will motivate our offense to put up a little bit points. I don't know if I dropped my score, but just in case I'm going to drop it again. I have the Cowboys in an odd one with a 19 score and the Chargers 17. I think we win by 2 somehow. Don't know how. Don't know how we got 19, but somehow we put up 19.
Wow. Is that all you want to say, Mook?
Yeah, I don't really have much to add about the Chargers, except for I feel like they kind of play up and or down to their opponent, usually playing up and somehow blowing a lead. Well, playing off better than them and then sucking. But, yep. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, Kuhn has 6 on your boys with a final of 23-20. I am not in the same boat here. I originally had Dallas, but then Leighton Vander Esch is out. The corner's gone for the season. There's injuries kind of litanied across that defense. And this is the Kellen Moore revenge game.
Quarterback.
Yeah. I got 5 on the Chargers. I got a 28-21 final. This is the type of game the Chargers always blow, so I'm not feeling great about it, but I mean, Kellen Moore has that offense playing. Now, sadly, Brandon Staley's a bad coach, and that defense isn't great. But Dallas hadn't shown me all season that they can really put up points against a capable team that's also putting up points. Like I said, we're missing Vander Esch. The corner, I forgot the corner's name. Diggs.
Diggs.
Diggs is gone. Like that, it doesn't feel like the same defense with these injuries. Dak has looked pretty average. I mean, maybe people are undervaluing the Cowboys because of how bad the Niners game was. I think they'll be fine. I just don't think they're winning here. I think this game's going to mean a lot to Kellen Moore. I think he's going to have them passionately ready to play offensively. Cutler's, or I was going to call him Justin Cutler, my bad. Herbert's hand does kind of bother me. I mean, it's his non-throwing hand, but that, I don't know if y'all seen it before their bye week. He, like, broke that finger. It looked kind of nasty. He played through it, but we'll see kind of how he looks. It seems like they kind of got a break getting the bye when they got it. Normally, I feel like you'd hate an early bye, but I feel like the Chargers got a nice break. The one thing that does scare me is the Chargers, I believe, play the Chiefs next week. So, which is probably a much more important game to them than this one. So maybe they're overlooking this game, but I feel like I said, I feel Kellen Moore's going to have that team ready to play, and I put 5 on the Chargers for Herbert and the boys to go in, and I'll say this, I don't think Dallas is winning if they only put up 19 points with the Chargers coming off a bye, Eckler coming back. You still got Keenan Allen there. Like, I feel like this Chargers team's going to put up some points. I feel like, Dallas is at least going to have to put up 24 or so if they want to win, so I got 5 on the Chargers.
Some of those points might not come off offense.
Well, that's fine. Like I said, I just don't feel like y'all are the same defense right now.
And they're not. Asians got 3 on the Cowboys, and I got 1 on the Chargers. The Cowboys are, I mean, people want to talk about same old Lions. As long as Dak Prescott's under center taking snaps, they're the same old Cowboys. And that defense is getting tired of carrying that offense. And, well, right now they're not carrying anything. And the Cowboys are real beat up, and this is a Chargers team who can drop 45 on you real quick. And like you said, with the people that are coming back, the people out for Dallas, there's just a lot of pieces missing.
I feel like this is a real statement game for the Chargers. Especially because you're going to play Kansas City on Sunday. Like, this is the statement game.
It's a must-win for them. Yep.
I don't know if I'd say must win, but like, yeah, you're 2-2. You're not gonna keep up with the Chiefs if you're dropping games.
Exactly. So you definitely don't want to drop one to a Dallas team who's already kind of like morals are hurting. I mean, you just got smacked around. Prime time against the Niners. You took an L to Arizona. You lost your number 1 corner. I mean, your starting quarterback loses you more games than he can win you. The problem, Tony Pollard, unfortunately, is not producing. So I'm pretty sure he still has an ankle problem.
You know what baffles me about Dallas every year? They always get pass happy. It seems like you would have the formula to win there normally. It's run the ball, have Dak say, Dak, we need you to make 4 or 5 great throws a game. Have Dak throw the ball 20, no more than 25 times. And good defense. Seems like that's the formula for Dallas winning. Then I'll see games where, like, and it was the same way with Romo. I'll see games where, like, Dallas quarterback, Dak throws 45 times, and I'm like, that's not the way to win with Dak. Like, Dak's fine. I mean, I feel he's overpaid. But, like...
Only a lot.
Yeah, but, like...
He needs a run game. He's always had a run game. He came in and had
the thing. Even when he has a run game, they always get off the formula.
Yeah,
like, I don't know if they just get... I don't know if they just get big-headed or... It's like I said, you have a winning formula. Just run the ball, keep it on the ground, have Dak throw 25 times. Say, hey, we need you to make 3-4 really good throws a game, and good ball protection. Because I mean, I'll say this: Dak's claim when he got that contract, right? Which I think he's regressed since he's got it.
Yeah,
just from the eye test. That's what the eye test tells me. But I would say that Dak, his claim was, okay, I'm not elite. I'm not, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. I'm not in that class, right? Is that fair to say? Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. I'm not in that class.
Yeah.
But I'm the
Nowhere near
top
that.
of tier 2. I think that was always his claim. But
And
he's
I don't even have him at tier 2.
no, I was gonna say he's no longer even in tier 2 now. Like Purdy's
No.
better than him, Goff's better than him,
Way better.
Cousins is better than
Goff's
him.
actually made it to a Super Bowl.
Like, shoot, right now even Baker's playing better than him.
Yeah, no, that is.
You know,
Dak came in the season and said he was going to work on throwing less than 10 interceptions.
Tua's
I'm
there.
pretty sure. Oh, Tua's definitely there.
I would put Gino above him, like, like, and there's guys you can argue, but it's like Dak isn't. When he got that contract, you could say, I think you could argue he's the top of tier 2. Now you can't even argue that he's. Now it's hard to argue he's even in tier 2. Like, he's regressed
with the money.
Well,
he made the money with
and
like.
I think a lot of it's. I hate to say that because you don't ever like to see anyone get hurt, but I think a lot of it's just the injuries, man. Like, he can't move anymore.
That too, yeah.
Because that was part of it, was he could be a little mobile, get himself out of situations. He can't be mobile anymore, though. He's just not a mobile quarterback at all anymore.
Yeah, and he wasn't. I mean, they didn't like him because he was a pocket passer. I mean, they liked that he could, but they liked the fact that he could extend plays.
Yeah, he could get out of trouble, and
exactly.
He doesn't seem to have that quality to his game anymore.
Sadly, everything you said was true. Even the Baker part, as much as I hate to admit it, because he's a garbage quarterback.
Look, Baker could regress any time, but I just think that Tampa has enough dogs there that's a. Like I said, I think that Tampa team's going to probably be like a 9-win team. They're going to lose them. They could definitely lose this week, but just my point is that, Dak's claim when he got paid was, okay, I'm not an elite guy, but I'm right below those elite guys, and you can't even make that claim anymore. That's kind of, that was kind of my point, like...
Yeah.
It's very weird, because, like, yeah, we know Dallas is really good on defense, but when they're playing another competent team, can they take care of it on offense? And right now, I don't think they can. Now, to be fair, they do get a bye week after this, so maybe they'll come out, clean it up, and look strong after the bye. I mean, best case scenario is, the Chargers have dogs on defense, but they somehow always end up being like the worst. I think they've given up the most yards in the league, so maybe this is a good spot for Dak, a big CD night, maybe a big Pollard night. I think this is definitely a winnable... Huh?
Do we remember when Dak said that we didn't need Pollard or Zeke to win?
Oh, I know.
You guys remember that a few years back? He said he could do it himself.
Yes, I do. I was going to say, and that was back when Zeke was good.
Very good.
Zeke has very much regressed. Like I said, as a Stevenson owner, I get sad when I see Zeke waddling out to try to steal my touchdown value. But yeah, like I said, I like the Chargers here, but this definitely could be a Chargers choke game. I'm sure that's why Aaron has 1 point on it and why I only have 5 points on it. It's also, different conference matchup. Like I said, I think Kellen Moore is going to be very passionate and have the offense ready to play. I just hope Staley has that defense on the same level. Because, I don't get how you can have a Bosa and be like dead last in defense. It baffles me. It baffles me. And I was a Staley defender for a while until it just become clearly obvious he's in over his skis. I'll tell you this. I can't put high points on the Chargers. Even if they're playing like the Raiders, I can't bring myself to put like high points on the Chargers because there's always a chance that Brandon Staley just blows it.
Yep.
But yeah, do you got anything else you want to say about the Cowboys, Mook?
No, I do not. I have said my piece.
You didn't have Anything about the Dak comments or anything?
No,
He agrees
y'all,
with it.
I can't disagree with what you said. Even though the Baker line killed me when you said that, but I can't
I mean,
disagree.
if I'm just going off an eye test of what I've seen this year on the field,
I have not disagreeing
I
with you.
also think it could. Is it a contract year for Dak?
I do not know.
They locked him up for like 4 or 5 years.
They did that
Yeah, I
a
think
while ago.
Has it
include.
been that long though? Hold on, let me look it up.
I think he's got 3 years, and this year included. But I'm just guessing.
He has a
We
no
signed him-
trade clause till 2025.
Yep.
So yeah.
Oh, sadly, I didn't get my high score and lower score in again, and which was so ass because I was gonna put him in. I thought I already had him in, but I guess not. I guess I stopped at the Dallas score, didn't give a Buffalo score, and then before the game even started in Kansas City, I went to go put it in, and it wouldn't let me. It said the deadline passed. I was like, oh, that is so trash. That's so garbage.
Well, Kuhn said most Buffalo, least Giants. Also, if I didn't give his scores, he said 28-20. Oh, that might be Asian, actually. That is Asian. I don't know if Kuhn didn't actually send me his. Oh, he might have. He said 23-20 Cowboys and 40-10 Bills. Most points Kansas City, least New England. We agreed on most. I said Miami. Well, we agreed on least. I said New England with the least. And the most, I had the Miami Dolphins.
If I had to pick one, I would have said Miami, and with the least, I'd say the Giants. But
Did you give a most or least, Aaron?
So mine were locked as well at Kansas City and Arizona.
Oh,
But
no.
I would have said Buffalo and Giants.
I've learned when I pick on the same game, it just never works out for me. And Asian sent them in reverse. That's great. So yeah, Asian picked your boys 28-27. I'm gonna be real. That sounds like a classic fucking Chargers score. 35-9 Bills over Giants, and he had Buffalo with the most and the Giants with the least. So we all seem to be on a combination of Buffalo, Miami, and
Giants,
New England, yeah, Giants, Patriots. Man, I would have picked a spicy one. There's a few that I like. I never mind putting Atlanta in that least score spot. Denver would have been a good option. They dropped a whole 8. Cleveland would have been a good one to put there, honestly. Because, I mean, I just don't know how many points P.J. Walker's putting up on San Fran. Houston, I mean, if you're picking someone against the Saints, well, some of y'all picked Houston to win, but anytime you're playing the Saints, you just never know because that defense is dogs. Carolina, I think Carolina
We
will,
never know what we're gonna get.
Carolina will probably drop 10-17. As much as it pains me to say it, Adam Thielen's actually having a fucking great year. I never would have thought old man Thielen would have been old reliable, you know?
I mean, he reminds me of that Jordy Nelson.
Yeah, I just think that Carolina don't have anything else. I mean, Chark isn't really working out. They have Mingo. I hope they get him involved more.
Well, yeah, they let DJ Moore go to Chicago.
Also, before we call it, Mook, I did want to ask you a fantasy question because you're an owner.
yeah, what's up?
Are you excited at the fact of if Sutton or Judy gets traded, you're probably going to see a lot more Marvin Mims Jr. value?
Oh, hell yeah. Man, I almost dropped his ass today, but you know what? I got to stash his ass. I didn't even think about that.
Well, I shouldn't have said anything because I would have put in waiver for him if you dropped him.
You just said you were gonna drop Mims?
I did.
What? That would be wild, bro.
Didn't even think. I'm sorry, I don't watch the Broncos. I know they're their ass.
Well,
At least he was
essentially,
good in college.
with Mims, it's just him getting the targets, and If they ship off Sutton or Judy, he's going to get the targets.
Hopefully that man.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, he's got the speed. He's shown it when they let him on the field. It's baffling they don't let him on the field more.
I know.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't seen more targets and more playing time, to be honest. But
Come on, let's
They don't-
trade Judy. Honestly, that's the best of all worlds that they traded Judy for me.
Judy
'Cause-
goes to be a Cowboy.
Okay, maybe that's not that good.
Oh, why would that not be that good? I mean, I was
I
I
mostly
think Judy. I think if he winds up on the right team, I think it will be okay. It's just there's nothing there in Denver for him. They don't run to his style.
like I said, dude. There's a part of me that shudders thinking about that man going to KC.
Like I said, that would be it. I mean, for the right price, I wouldn't mind to see him in Detroit.
Now, that
Just give us
being-
more depth.
That being said, I could see him going somewhere like Detroit before, because I don't think Denver will trade him in division.
Yeah, I think they would want to keep him away.
Trying to think where
But maybe
else.
not.
I mean, they don't really trade a lot, but I mean, I think it would be a sign of confidence if a team like the Packers went for it.
Packers could use it.
But
Atlanta
well, that's
could
what
use
I'm
it.
saying. If they come out and they're showing,
Cleveland.
hey, we're gonna get Jordan Love some weapons, because his receivers are all young. I feel like that would be a vote of confidence. I mean, looking around, honestly, a team like Atlanta, I think that would actually be a lot of fun.
Well, that'd help Drake London out and maybe Kyle Pitts.
I
That
mean-
would free him up a little bit.
Honestly, the team's terrible. The team's fucking god awful. But the team that should be on the phone is the Giants. They need a receiver.
Yeah, but I mean, Jerry Jeudy and Kadarius aren't too far. I mean, Jerry's better, of course,
Well,
but they're kind of
Jerry
similar
Jeudy don't get
in
injured
style.
like Kadarius.
That is true.
And
But I'm talking
just
like-
because they've made moves, I could see Chicago making a move. But it's just because they've went out and shown that they'll trade assets to set Fields up for success.
Yeah, but do you think Jeudy would want to go from one shit organization to another?
Oh no, but I think if they're paying for it, I think he may not have a say. I don't know how long his contract is. But
Yeah, he should still be. Is he on his last
he
year?
should be under his rookie. If he's under his last year of his rookie, then he'll go to a championship team or they won't trade him.
I want to say he's been in the league 3 years, so maybe next year would be 4. And I want to say they can pick up your 5th option if they want.
I'll say this: I don't think they move Sutton and Judy, so I think they're only going to move one or the other.
Yeah, Sutton's been more of a productive horse for him though. He's been doing better than Judy.
And
Judy ain't really been doing anything.
Sutton's got a couple years on Judy, I believe.
He does.
So I mean, Judy would be the one that'd make the most sense. It's very interesting. It'd also be interesting to see if a team like maybe like Indianapolis or someone took a shot. Kind of thinking like, okay,
Yeah.
what teams have young quarterbacks that would, thrive? The Texans would be a shout.
I mean, Jaguars would make
Given
them a
CG.
contender. Jaguars would definitely
Man.
step them up.
Could you imagine? Oh, I'd love it if he went to the Jags. I mean,
Well, I mean, their defense is doing all right, and their offense. I mean,
they got a
can
very
score points.
mid of the road defense, but I mean, Ridley, Kirk, Zay Jones, and Jerry Jeudy. Woo!
That would be pretty nasty.
I mean, the keys to the car would be there, and you got to think Evan Ingram has kind of come back from the tight end graveyard.
Yeah, New York kind of.
Well, now we're seeing Waller in that graveyard.
Unfortunately,
He finally had a decent game.
the poor Pitts.
Oh, dude, Pitts actually got used last week.
He did. I'm hoping that's a good sign. Cause I'm going to start him this week in fantasy. If not, I put him up on the trade block
Dude, it's
to see what value I could get.
you're in the deep marshes with fucking Kyle Pitts.
Yeah,
You're
it's
just
my dynasty league. So
You're just in the deep marshes. Like, it's never a start you feel good about.
Well,
But they
freaking
gave him targets last night.
I've been starting Laporta, and Laporta's
Oh,
been
yep,
balling.
he's been balling. I mean, because, like, right, normally when I play a tight end, unless it's Andrews or Kelsey, all I want is the tight end to get targets. I'm like, look, if you don't make much of those targets, I feel good about you getting targets.
So
If my tight ends...
Laporta
Yes.
is the number one. So he's the youngest tight end to ever get, I think it was 5 touchdown receptions and 500 yards, or 250 yards in the first, like, 5 games.
Oh, I wish I had Laporta.
So, like, I don't understand why he's not being talked about.
He's been a touchdown monster. Oh, trust me, he's talked
Well,
about on the
third
fantasy
down.
podcast.
I mean, third down, with Amara not being out there, he's usually being looked at for the third down target now. So Goff has found a real comfortable target there in him, and he is using the shit out of him.
Pluto said Laporta is a god. I mean, I'll say this. Last week he got 2 touchdowns. I'd like to see him, because last week he only got 3 targets. I like to see more targets in my tight ends, but I feel like that's just a 1-week thing, because they've been throwing him the ball.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean,
the only time I hate seeing targets is if it's Zach Ertz, because if I have to play Zach Ertz, I'm cringing.
I have him as a backup.
Huh?
I have him as a backup just in case I need somebody.
Well, here's the thing. He gets the target, so it's never a bad play. It's just like, oh, you look at it and you're like, 12 for 22 yards. Woo!
Exactly. Like, thanks for your 2-yard receptions.
Yeah. Like, I mean, in PPR, it's nice because you know he's going to get you a good game. But it's like the week Alvin came back. The Saints doing the ball fucking 13 times. I was like, well, you know, that's one way to get your points.
Right.
But
that's why having freaking, like, it just baffles me because Montgomery last week against Carolina had like a 30-40 yard run touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Williams wanted to make money because he scored a bunch of touchdowns. We're literally doing the same thing with Montgomery.
Oh, well, look at Jamal Williams now. He's hurt.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but he's not doing what he did in Detroit behind your line. There's a reason Green Bay had him as like a second, third string.
I mean, well, he was supposed to be the guy till Alvin came back, and he didn't make it till Alvin came back. Now, to be fair, Alvin's looked good since he's come back.
Alvin's amazing.
Yeah, Alvin's looked great those first 2 weeks. He went to New Orleans to be the 2, though. He was never meant to be the 1.
Well, he took less money. We offered him more money than you guys did. And apparently he wanted more from us, and then he was like, fuck you guys. I'm going to go be great somewhere else. And we're like, okay, we'll pick up someone better than you.
Well, he had another stop in between going to the Saints, didn't he?
No, we had him for, I think, 2 years. Last year, he broke Barry Sanders' single-season touchdown record, and then he thought he was going to get super paid. But it's like, it wasn't you. It was that line, and we gave you the ball at the 2-yard line. So, yeah, you're going to score a touchdown. You're a power back.
Okay, yeah, he went Packers, Lions, Saints.
Yep. And then you guys will have him for a year or 2, and then he'll go somewhere else.
I mean, to be fair, we have a rookie on that roster that we like, too, so I don't even know if we'll end up, like, using him when he comes back.
Right. He might just be there to talk about Pokemon and anime.
And, I mean, we might, because we have Alvin, and then I would imagine the 2 right now is Kendre Miller.
Yeah, he's...
But then again, you're looking at the Saints that have, like, 4 good tight ends for whatever reason. Like, hold on. I don't know if you've seen that this tight end depth chart. I just imagined we were waiting for, Yeah,
I can't believe Jimmy's still playing.
Yeah, we got Jawan Johnson, who ain't playing this week, and we got Foster Monroe and Jimmy Graham, and we and we put Taysom Hill in and out. So it's just kind of like we're ready if the receivers start getting hurt. Dude, what happened to the rest of... Oh, there's Richie. There's A.T. Perry, yeah. I mean, the Saints' offense isn't, like, terrible. But it's just kind of what it is. Alvin and Kendre. And then we had Eno as well. We had Eno Benjamin, but Jamal and Benjamin are both on IR.
Y'all need to call Drew Brees for another year or two.
Sadly, dude, he's too old now.
Have him as a quarterback coach.
I mean, I'd be down for him teaching Carr. Like
I'm saying y'all need to draft a rookie in the next couple of years.
Most of my problem with the Saints is the fact that I just don't think Dennis Allen is the head coach. Great DC, not a good HC. Like, he's got that defense ready. At least he's not Dennis Allen and his side of the ball performs. Time for Favre to come carry the Packers since he's being sued for all his money.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't really know. I think that's about all I have for podcast boyos.
Yeah, me too. I gotta get up soon.
I was going to say I don't want to keep you too long, Aaron. I'm sorry if I did.
No, it's all good.
It was a
The
fun
monster
conversation, though. It was fun doing the 3-man pod this week.
Oh, yeah.
Had a good time, boyos. Kuhn, if you're pulling the video, this is where we'll cut it. Thank y'all so much for listening in. I've been Kai here with McFist Pump and the Mookie. We'll see y'all next week, y'all. Bye.
Bye.